Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, Aries, let's get into this, shall we? We're going to take a little peek at just kind of the question of, with Big Ben, sorry, Big Ben behind me over here. I wanted to take a look at what is this divine time bringing in? What is it the right time for? Ten of Swords, it may be the right time for acknowledging an ending or letting something that was really painful stop. Sometimes we keep holding on to something even though it's not causing anything but grief. We have the Seven of Cups in the reverse. This is, accepting, okay, I do know the answer to this instead of saying, but I'm confused. Maybe I still need more data. This actually says there is something or someone that was very confusing. And it's like, I don't see any reason to keep dealing with this. So it might be time to identify where there's been stuck energy and maybe realize that it is time to let go of something that was, really causing more grief than joy. This could be anything. This could be holding on to that beat up, chair. And when we sit in it, we wind up feeling crooked and our back hurts. And it's like, what am I doing? It's sentimental, or, I remember when it was comfy, but it's not anymore. We literally have a King of Wands sitting in a chair here. This could be an old, outdated version of us. This could be a grudge. This could be Aries held a grudge for a little bit. And they're like, you know what? It is not doing me any good to stay mad. I should let this go. That's actually wonderful, though. If now this could also be a karmic. This could be someone who once upon a time Aries was like, no, I want things to work out with this person. But if over time things don't work out because nothing changes and there's this very repetitious cycle of selfishness, it could have been that Aries was waiting for this person. Like, I think sometimes it's hard to believe someone can be super selfish. And so I think it's understandable that, we would wait and be like, no, they couldn't have meant that. There's no way that's like so selfish. There's no way somebody really meant that, right? Sometimes that is where somebody's at. They are purely selfish. And it's very hard to wrap one's head around how selfish, we humans can be sometimes. We have the Karma card. This is making that judgment call. By the way, terrific card to have at this point in time because, as you guys know, tomorrow is that blood moon, lunar eclipse, full moon. So watch for a video that'll come out tomorrow. That's more interactive. There's 6 different messages that I did. And again, if you guys want me to do a dice roll for you just for fun to see which of those 6 messages, I'm leaving comments on in that video that'll come out tomorrow. But just something fun to celebrate that blood moon. Let's take a closer look here with the Karma card, with the judgment call. Yeah, Hermit. So Aries might be walking away from somebody or something that, well, let's just go ahead and call it walking away from a routine that was not very happy. A King of Wands in the reverse, somebody that could be a karmic. This could have been a lover, a friend, a family member, but it's someone who I think Aries waited on for a really long time. And this is them finally saying, you know what? I think I'm making this judgment call. I think I'm seeing what their shadow side is. And until they go work on that, I'm going to keep suffering because they don't change their behavior. They still talk rude to me. They're still selfish. They don't show me much compassion. Whatever this is, it just says if there's somebody like that in Aries world, Aries might be seeing it for what it is and saying, I can't deal with this kind of behavior anymore. This is where I walk away. I'd rather be by myself than be around somebody who keeps being so selfish. Sweet. Hey, babe, how are you? We've got the 5 of Swords. It's full stop. It's like, yep, I'm not going down that road anymore. I don't want to argue with them. I don't want to fight with them. I don't want. Now, I will say this. There is a possibility that if Aries is, throwing in the towel, calling quits on something, surprisingly, this person who maybe has not shown any love, any support, any kindness at all, may suddenly be like, what? No, wait, don't go, and even try to pick a little fight or try to gaslight and be like, how dare you leave, blah, blah, blah. Because this does look like a last ditch effort to make sure that Aries still engages with them, even if it's to be, irritated with them. Moon Pony, so great to see you. Hi, sweethearts. We got the shadow side. Okay, there's the devil. So, and we see two people on this card. I do think that as hard as it might be to like wrap one's head around it, in this fictional story, Aries has dealt with somebody who was immensely selfish. But when Aries tries to walk away, that's when Aries sees, oh my God, they're afraid to see me go. They don't want me to go. They want me to stay, not because they're promising to treat me any better, but because they desperately want me, but they want to be able to stay. Like they're scared to let me go, but they're also scared to make a change. I don't know if this person has some behavioral thing that I feel like there's, anytime we get the shadow side, yes, there's fear. And fear comes out in weird ways. Sometimes overly confident, bossy know-it-all is what I get from this, even though in truth, on the inside, they don't feel like they know anything. They may be incredibly insecure, but have been pushing this persona of I'm so much smarter than Aries. It just feels like everything that they've shown is the exact opposite. Even this, if they want to pick a fight with Aries because they actually don't want Aries to go, they're really scared of Aries leaving them. But it's like, well, then why didn't you treat Aries better so Aries could have stayed? This, I can see why this would have been confusing. I can see why Aries is like, yeah, but I can't stay stuck, because what I do see is it's a repetitious thing. I don't see the change. So now it's time that I make a change, which is to go. It's just wild because Aries may discover that this person does not want Aries to go. And it could be like a mind twister on that. Or it's just that Aries is able to see, okay, that's where this person's real, toxic side is. Like I said, the deep insecurity, but they cover it with this false bolster of, this awesome persona. Death card. I don't know if this leads to a really necessary conversation where Aries might be able to say, you can change if you want to. But that's what it would take for me to keep talking to you. Everything would have to change. I feel like this is a really great example. I think Aries is just basically like laying it out on the table. Listen, this is painful. I haven't enjoyed it at all. That's why I'm leaving. I was stuck for a long time wondering, did you not know you were being rude? Now I realize it's a choice you've been making. I'd rather be not around you if this is how you are. And this is how you are. And if this person gives pushback, then I think Aries is able to maybe say, and that's where the toxicity comes from. You could choose not to act like that. You could treat me nice and then I could stay. But all these things would have to change. And that's up to you. It almost feels like it's just very, this is so straightforward. This is so just like laying it out. There is no more confusion here. All of the kind of the gnarly cards have come out. Everything is on full display, which is great. This does feel more like it's a message for, tomorrow's blood moon, just because, the blood moon tomorrow is named that because of the way the lighting will change. And that's just because of the placement of, the moon being in Earth's shadow, and it blocks out certain other lights. And all we see left in the wavelength of light is the redder or orangey hues. Now if you're where I'm at anyway, you won't be able to see it. That blood moon won't be visible to us in North America. It'll be like, I think it said like 82% of the world gets to see it, but not us in North America. So enjoy Africa, Asia, Australia, enjoy all around the world, but we'll just have to like vicariously, enjoy it, knowing that our brothers and sisters in other continents and countries are seeing what we can't. And that makes me happy, though. It makes me happy to think that other people in the world get to see it, and I'm a people too, so we're all still looking at it together somehow. But it's interesting to have a message like this where it's about the shadow. That's what its whole message is. We have possibly somebody who will take a little bit of time to say they're sorry, but I do feel like there will be profuse apologies, but it may take time. It may be that Aries does walk away after giving this person a lot to think about, because we see them here sitting here penning some kind of a letter. We see them thinking about things. Maybe this is the wake up call that they needed. I was thinking just from the perspective of Aries, like what is, divine timing bringing into Aries life. But maybe we should have also been mindful that divine timing is his else's life as well. Maybe it was time for Aries to tell somebody point blank, these are the things you've been doing. These are the things that I can't tolerate. And these are the reasons I'm going. This is the reason I'm throwing in the towel. Maybe it was time for Aries to tell somebody, like, this is your behavior that is not pleasant. This is the behavior that hurts me. So that's why I don't want to be around anymore. The rudeness, the lack of compassion, the, whatever it was, that selfish energy, that's not nice. If that's what they needed to hear, to maybe be able to like acknowledge their own shadow side, or to have Aries like acknowledge it with them, that could be a massive breakthrough for this person. I still say it would take time because the tide has to go out before it comes back in. Just like this, we see the tidal wave coming in. We see the huge apology coming in. We see them really thinking about things. We see them genuinely trying to make change, possibly. The apology is a big change from them. But there has to be, action to back up the words of like, I'm sorry, I was like that. It's like, yes, great. Now, have you altered the pattern of behavior? So if that, it is possible, it is very possible that shockingly, after Aries genuinely walking away and not thinking that they're ever going back, Aries may hear from this person again. They may have a lot of confessions to make. With that Nine of Swords, they may have a lot to say. Like, maybe there's a whole lot more to their behavior that they've been thinking about. Maybe they haven't even enjoyed how they've been behaving, but until Aries actually called them out on it and then actually ended a connection with them. This could even be a friendship. This could be like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You're mean. You got a salty side, and you got to one up somebody all the time. You don't act like a friend. It could be something like that, but calling somebody out on their behavior is enough for this person to actually start really thinking about it. And I do feel like they might have a lot to say about how much this has stressed them out, and a lot of apologies, but I still think that comes down later. Right now is the divine timing is for Aries to put up some kind of just a truthful, like, here's what I'm not going to put up with anymore. Here's the reasons I'm walking away. And I do think Aries is like taking themselves out of this person's life for right now with that Hermit card. Aries could have some strong Virgo in their chart as well. And that person could have been a Capricorn, possibly. They could have been a fellow fire sign. So Leo, Sag, or Aries as well. But good luck to them at getting Aries back. And mostly good luck to them at making those changes that they would need to in order to get a second chance with Aries. All right, you guys. You guys are so awesome. Good to see you. Lots of love. Sweet Moon Pony. Thanks again, you guys. Moon Pony, I love the alien emoji. That's one of my all-time favorites. Thank you, babe. All right, you guys. Yes, sweet, spot on. Red wavelengths to pass through to reach the moon. I know, right? I think this is actually full moon in Pisces, but you're right. The color red is definitely an Aries color, isn't it? All right, you guys. Thanks again. I'll see you again soon. We're going to do Sagittarius tonight as well. So I'll see you guys in a hot minute. But thank you guys for being with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for right now.